Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. And a quick announcement before we get any further into the video. I'm going to be live streaming the extended look of GTA 6 in just a few hours after this video goes live, so consider checking that out if you guys are interested. With that being said, if you could drop a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new, let's go ahead and get into this week in GTA Online. To start off the week, we have a weekly challenge for $100,000, and that is going to be gotten by completing 3 drift races. Now, additionally, if you complete a drift race in the Uber-mocked cipher, you will receive a special camo for the vehicle as well. This week we have triple money and triple RP on transform races in GTA Online, and we have double money and double RP on drift races as well. However, drift races and transform races from the 28th to the 30th are going to be on 6 times money for the first time ever, meaning that this is actually going to be a pretty good way to make money, particularly through the transform races. So I would advise trying this out this weekend if you have some time. Now, to get on to what is probably going to be the best money bonus of the week, we have double money and double RP on auto shop robbery contracts this week. So doing the Union Depository is going to make about $600,000 in roughly 20 minutes. It's a really good way to make money. I have a guide to the Union Depository contract on my channel as well if you guys are interested. Getting started with the discounts this week, we only have vehicle discounts and all of them are going to be 30% off, starting with the Invitero Cockett D5. This vehicle is really awesome. It's based off the Corvette C6 in real life. It is rear wheel drive, it is in the sports category and has good handling, a decent top speed and good acceleration. The customization could have been better, I'm not gonna lie, particularly due to this roof right here. You cannot change the color of it, which is quite frustrating, but it's an interesting vehicle no matter how you slice it. For $1.2 million, if you have a decent amount of money in GTA, I think this vehicle is worth picking up personally. I think it's a good vehicle for 1.2 mil. Scrolling a little further down, we have the Annis ZR350 discounted this week again. This thing is going for $850,000 if you have the trade price. If you don't, it's probably around $1.1 million. Now, this vehicle has a lot of utility. It has a missile lock-on jammer, it has special liveries with drift tuning, and it has drift tuning itself, which is pretty cool. It's also one of the most customizable cars in the entire game because it was added with the Tuners DLC, so it's got just a ton of stuff that you could do to it, and it's based off the FD RX7 in real life, which is an awesome fan favorite car. This is a vehicle that I would recommend picking up if you're interested in customizing vehicles, drifting, or you like the FD RX7. If you like any of those things, you will love the ZR350. It truly is a pretty awesome car. Now, it's not going to win you any Tuners class races necessarily, but it is just a great car for free mode, so that's what I recommend it for. Scrolling further down, we have 2 instant avoids, the Vapid Flash GT and the Cheval Taipan. Now, both of these get an avoid because they have engine resistance, which means these 2 cars are way slower than they ever should have been. On top of that, they're also extremely overpriced, especially given the performance, but even customization wise, neither of these cars are good. The Vapid Flash GT unfortunately just doesn't have enough stuff to make it worth the $1.2 million discounted price tag. The Flash GT is all-wheel drive and it drives decently as far as like handling goes, but acceleration wise and top speed wise, it is just terrible, and I honestly just can't justify purchasing it or recommending for you guys to purchase it either. Out of the 2, the Taipan is easily the worst offender. It is rear wheel drive, it has not much in the way of customization, but it has $1.4 million for the price tag, which is kind of crazy, and it is not a special supercar in any regard. It has a top speed of about 120 miles per hour, which is really slow for a supercar. That's like OG 2013 sports car numbers, so it's not a quick car, and it's going to take forever to get to that top speed as well. So I would just avoid the Taipan. I do not think it is worth purchasing. Next up, over to Warstock Cash and Carry, we have the Karen Technical Aqua discounted this week. Now, this is an interesting vehicle. It is amphibious and it is obviously weaponized, as you guys can see by the gun on the back. This thing is based off of the Top Gear vehicles, the Toyota and the Nissan, if you guys are familiar with either of those. And unfortunately, for just over $1 million or just under $800,000, I don't really think this thing is particularly worth it because it is a very limited use case. Now, if you want to buy it to, just have it for fun, that's one thing. But as far as actual utility goes, this thing has basically zero because you're never going to use it. When it's in the water, it's also extremely slow, and there's nothing you can do customization wise to this vehicle. It is pretty much just like this. It does have some performance upgrades, but that is about it. Overall, I just don't really think this is worth the money for most players. So for most people, I'm going to go ahead and say to avoid the technical aqua this week. Moving over to Southern San Andreas Super Autos, under the luxury tab, we have the Obey iWagon for $1,204,000. This thing, unfortunately, is kind of similar to some of the other vehicles we've talked about today in the fact that it has like pretty much nothing in the way of customization. It's pretty underwhelming, to be completely honest. It's also fully electric, meaning the top speed is going to be piss poor, but it does have very good acceleration, and I will say for an electric vehicle, it has decent enough handling. However, for $1.2 million, I just do not think this is a worthy vehicle of that price tag, and considering that that's 30% off, I think it's just a crazy amount of money for this vehicle. I would not recommend the Obey iWagon unless it is screaming at you that you need it. So for most people, I think that means probably don't buy it. It is just simply not a great vehicle. In a rare instance, underneath the special category, we have the RC Bandito discounted by 30% off this week. Now this vehicle can be weaponized, it is remote controlled, and it has a jump available for it as well. Now you do not need the RC Bandito to do the RC Bandito time trial, just so everyone is aware, so don't think that you need to buy it to do that. And you will also need to store it in the Arena workshop, as you guys can see right here, and it can be modified there as well. So if you don't have an Arena, that's going to be an automatic probably avoid for the RC Bandito for you guys. But if you're interested in getting one, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to. I just don't really think it's worth it for most players. I don't think you're going to use the RC Bandito nearly as much as you would maybe think that you might. So yeah, I just don't think it's worth buying for most people. That's all I have to say about that. We also have a couple of planes on discount this week, namely the Duster 300H, going for $535,500 or $715,000. Now the Duster 300H needs to be stored in a hangar, so you're going to need to own one in order to purchase this thing in the first place. And it says weaponized, but it's really only got machine guns, and they're not very good, and it's very hard to control this plane. If you wanted to use it as a dogfighter, good luck, because it's just really inconsistent feeling, and it's not that fast or remarkable in really any way. I personally would say to avoid the Duster 300H. I just simply don't think it's worth a purchase. We also have the Howard NX25 discounted this week as well for under $700K. This thing has a missile lock-on jammer available for it, which is pretty cool. Beyond that, it's not really that great of a plane. It's very basic. If you like planes, you may want to consider purchasing this one. But if you're just an average player in GTA who doesn't really love flying in particular, or have some sort of fascination with planes, I think you can pretty much avoid the Howard NX25. I just don't think it's that crazy or that great in any real particular way. Within the casino, we have the Karen Sultan Classic available to be won this week. It's a decent vehicle. If you want to come and try to win it, then definitely do that. It's not a bad car. Within the LS car meet, we have the Dinka Vito Classic available to be won this week, and in order to win it, you're gonna have to place top 5 for 4 days in a row. Kind of a crazy challenge for this thing, considering it's not even the best go-kart in the game. That would be the Dinka Vito Modern. If you want a go-kart, I mean, it's a cheap way to get one. You're actually gonna get paid to do it technically, so if you want one, I mean, go for it for sure, but it's not really anything special that you're missing out on if you don't get it. Now in here we have the Cheval Taipan, you guys can see here, and we have the Vapid Flash GT, as well as the Invitero Coquette D5 as well. Already talked about all these, I'm not going to talk about them again, but we do have the Arbiter GT available in here with HSW as the HSW test ride this week for $2,351,000. Not a bad price. It is actually pretty decent looking. Whoever made this at Rockstar, good job, honestly. I think that's a pretty good looking rendition of the Arbiter GT. Maybe minus the underglow. Within Simians, these are the vehicles that we have. The FR36, as you guys can see right here, we have the Vapodominator FX, we have the Albany VSTR, and the Vapodominator GTT, as well as the regular Invitero Coquette, which has drift tuning available for it this week, and so does the Vapodominator GTT, as well as the Annis Elegy Retro Custom as well, so that's pretty cool. Within the Garment Factory this week, the priority file is going to be the Fine Art file. In the salvage yard, we have 3 different vehicles available to be stolen this week, however none of them are claimable unfortunately. The Podium Robbery is going to get you the Dubocci Champion, the top tier vehicle of the week. The Duggan Robbery will get you the Obey Tailgater S. The standard tier vehicle of the week and the cargo ship robbery will get you the Vapid Click, which is the lower tier vehicle of this week. Within luxury autos, we have the Pfister Astral and the Grotti Itali Classic available in here. The gun van location today is here on the west side of the map, just below the canyon, and within the gun van we have some discounts, starting off with the military rifle, which is going to be 30% off this week. For GTA Plus members, the precision rifle is going to be 40% off, but I do not recommend buying it. The railgun's also available in here, the grenade launcher, the heavy pistol, and the crowbar as well. For throwables, you got pipe bombs, tear gas, and grenades, and of course body armor is 10% off. Well, there you have it guys, that's been it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. This is one of the quicker what to buy and what to avoid, I'm not gonna lie, so that's pretty cool. I didn't have exactly a whole lot to talk about this week, in all honesty, I guess, so there you have it. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't, consider subscribing if you're new, and consider tuning into my live stream in a few hours once we go live, talking about the extended look at GTA 6. Super excited, I'll see you guys there. Till then, take care. Peace.